Welcome to our mini snapshots on using the inbuilt artificial intelligence, or AI for short, to produce cash flow forecasts, sales and inventory forecasts, and late payment predictions in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. So the first thing I want to look at will be the cash flow forecasting in Dynamics 365 BC. Within BC, the cash flow forecast is viewed as an advanced reporting tool that leverages of the Microsoft Azure machine learning feature to help model various scenarios and provide insights of what is coming. Generally, a cash flow forecast is based on known facts. It will look at your liquid funds, such as bank and cash. And again, you can also include other accounts too, such as money coming in from your customers and money going out to your vendors. And all this is based off the due dates on your invoices. You can also additionally add in manual entries for things that you know that are upcoming receipts and upcoming payments that are not in the system yet. But if you want to look at long-term forecasting, then this is where the Azure machine learning tool comes into play by using models or various models or a combination of models. And what you'll see today is a whole lot, but I've actually chosen to use a combination of all of them. So let's go in and have a look and see how this is all set up. So please note that I am logged in under the accountant's role. And from here, you will actually get to see the cash flow forecast chart. Now, to set this up, what we would need to do is go into the assisted setup. And in here, you will notice we have got the configure the cash flow forecast chart. So once you've gone through that, and again, if you don't have access to this, please speak to your administrator and I'm sure they can help you to set this up. So once this has been enabled, you then go back. Here's your cash flow chart. And what we would do is we would then come in and configure this. So in order to configure for the flow chart, let's go and have a look. Cash flow setup. So there's my cash flow setup. And again, you can tell it how often do you want this to be updated. So in this case, I'm having it updated. But again, it says, well, you need to say, well, where are my receivables accounts coming from? So if I drop down here and select from my full list, you'll have your cash flow accounts list. And in this case, I'm going to have a look at my receivables. And then if I edit that, it will tell me that it's basically getting all my receivables from all the transactions where the source type equals receivables. So again, you just need to set this up correctly, and this will must be done in conjunction with your accountant. So once this has been set up, all the different details, again, you would most probably want to include your tax. So what's the tax period? Do I do it quarterly? What's your payment window? And again, this is the models I was talking about. Some people may just use a REMA. Other people would most probably use a combination. And in this case, I have used a combination of setting all this up. Again, you can click on the Open Azure AI Gallery, and that will bring up some of the models in there and explains in more detail about how it actually calculates and what it all means. So let's just go back to what's in Business Central. So once I've done that, I will come into cash management. You've got your cash flow forecasts. And here I've got my default setup. So now what I would do is I go into process, cash flow worksheet. I would then come into process and I would let it suggest the lines. So again, what do I want it to look at? It wants to look at liquid funds. It will look at receivables, sales orders, service orders, fixed asset disposal. Again, you go through there. Which budget do you want it to look at? You may want to filter out on the GST as well. So once that's been done, I will come in, suggest the lines. I will click on OK. And once it's gone through all the particular transactions and gathered them all up and done all its calculations, it will then ask us to register these lines. It will also give you any warnings in case, as you can see here, I've got a degree of variance. So all I need to do is just register that. Once I've registered the lines, what I'm getting at the back here, you'll now notice that all these figures have been updated. And these are the figures that are now coming through onto my cash flow forecast chart. So again, there it is. And again, it says, well, what do you want to base this on? So do I want to show accumulated cash? Again, you've got the various options here. I may want to show a combined. Again, you can go, do I want to show this monthly, weekly, quarterly? You choose what you want it to do. And at the end, you will just tell it to recalculate. It will recalculate and show your chart. So that's the first part of using the artificial intelligence built into Business Central. The next one we're going to look at is going to be the sales and inventory forecasting. The sales and inventory forecasting extension provides or predicts potential sales, and it's looking at your historical data. And we'll also ask you, do you want to view expected stockouts? So let's go and have a look at a particular item. So I've got one item set up. So let's call up my items. I'm going into 1005. Now, what you will notice is that if you turn on your fact box and come down to the bottom, you will see here I've got a forecast. You've got sales forecast, which means on this particular product, I've only really got a forecast coming up for January next year. But again, I've also got my inventory forecast coming up too. Now, you may have some items where it's a new item, in which case, in this particular case, you will see down here, you will get the message there's not enough historical data to actually calculate a forecast. To turn this on, all we would need to do is let's go to sales and inventory and come into forecast setup. And you can say, well, how do you want to show this? I want to show it by the month. I want to look forward for the 24 months. I want to look out for stockouts over the next 6 months. Again, I'm looking at the last 24 months. And again, you can use your various modules as well. Once this has been done and set up, it creates a job in the background. And you will, in my case, I'm obviously going to get that run every single day so that I can have a look at that. So let me go into here and let's come down and have a look, and you will see that's where my forecast, and you can see the information there. Again, you can, based on this information, start creating a purchase invoice or a purchase order, or you can come back and change your forecast or settings, or even delete that forecast and start again. So that just gives you some indication of what you can do on the sales and inventory side. The last one I want to look at is the late payment predictions. And this will help us manage our collections from our customers if you know when they will pay and will they pay on time. So again, all we need to do is to set this up. So let me go and have a look. So I'm just going to call out late payment prediction setup. So I'm coming into here. And again, you just need to enable this option and then it will start working for you. Again, this is creating a job queue in the background, so you can always stop and start it if you need to. So let me go and have a look. So let me go and look at some sales invoices. And let's have a look. So these are the invoices that I've already created, but I haven't actually posted them yet. So if I come in and have a look at possibly this one here, My Mining Company, and I go in and I look at the prepare, you'll have the option up here now called predict payment. In this case, it's telling me the payment is predicted to be on time with high confidence. So I basically know that this guy is actually going to pay on time. But we can also start this way back at the sales quoting side. So let's go back to sales quotes. Let's go into there. And again, I can raise one of these. So let's have a look at this particular one. Yeah, let's have a look at this one. Under actions, predict payment, and you can see there must be an amount. So let's go and put an amount into this one. In fact, let me actually choose an item. So let's pick up that item and let's just pick up a quantity of 1. Let's go back to actions, predict the payment. Sorry, I haven't put a value in there. Let's go into there. Actions, predict payment. No prediction needed. The payment for the sales document is already overdue. So that's one example of a message you will get. So let me look at something a little bit more recent, and I'll pick up this one here for Earthshaker. Again, I started this on the 1st of November, due on the 1st of December. I do have my item in there with my quantities. Let's go to actions, predict payment. And again, it will tell me whether this person is going to be paying on time or not. In this case, the payment is predicted to be on time with low confidence. So maybe he might, maybe he not, but he should be paying on time. So again, this may give you then the opportunity to go, well, hang on, we know he doesn't pay on time. So let's not give him his payment terms, just having a look. So he's got 1 month. Maybe we may want to shorten that particular payment term and only give him 10 days to do it, to pay in time. So again, that's a nice little useful tool, late payment prediction. So again, no prediction needed. This payment for sales is already overdue. And that's because I changed it to 10 days. So suddenly, instead of being due on the 1st of December, it's now brought it forward. And that's because I'm going, he may or may not pay on time. So let's bring that forward. So those are just some of the 3 options where we are now relying on the artificial intelligence with it built into Microsoft Dynamics 365 in order to predict or do our forecasting and predictions. Thank you.